day on the TV. It was ready, yet to say.
Yells it.
Hello.
Morning.
It's a P-Dog.
Hello.
And it's a G-Force.
Hello, everybody.
We've got a lovely day ahead of us. We've got a P-Dog, a Perrin, who is a jack of all trades.
That's right.
And the master of many, most of them. What's the expression?
It's master of none. Yeah.
No, but then there's a second part to that, which people don't know, which actually gives you more credibility. But anyways, you're great at it all.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
In the film industry. Then we've got ourselves a Graeme G-Force Hackney.
Hey.
Who is the producer of the show, but also an editor. And my name is Russell. I am the owner of The Bioscope, which is an independent cinema here in Johannesburg. And first customer of the day. It's a Jono Hall.
Good morning.
How are you, Jono?
I'm so well. Actually.
Oh, that's good.
It's very rare that you get people who answer that question in a kind of unqualified way. It always feels like there's sort of hedging going on where it's like, well, I'm great.
You are great.
I'm great.
That's good.
Oh.
You are a director.
I am.
Is that what you call yourself at a dinner party?
I do. When people ask me, what do you do? I will say I'm a film director, and then I make a complicated series of facial gestures to try and impart to them that I view myself with the kind of contempt that they are no doubt trying to hide.
Yeah, of course.
At being confronted by some guy at a dinner party who says, I'm a film director.
Yeah.
And then do you
wear a beret when you tell them this?
Or do you adjust your nice like Buddy Holly glasses?
Yeah, I was going to say the fact that I wear like thick rimmed like square glasses and doesn't help the fact that people are predisposed to eye roll before I even open my mouth. That's fine. It's the burden that I carry.
Yeah. It is so lovely to have you. And I also, funny enough, something I always associate with you is the fact that you at one point were holding these like food banquets.
That's true. It is
so
true.
I kind of know you as like a foodie guy. Is that right?
Yeah, that would have gone back to the days when the Bioscope was still in Maboneng.
Yeah.
And next door to the Bioscope, two wonderful friends of mine and maybe yours as well, Orly and Haley had...
I dated Haley for many years.
Oh, wow.
So she was a lover.
Revelation upon revelation.
It's crazy what a small world it is. Jeez,
Yeah.
So they had a theatre space in Maboneng off the lobby of the 12 Decades Hotel called the Pop Art Theatre. And I was obsessed. It was the era of pop. They were the pop art, and it was the era of pop-up restaurants. Like everyone had a pop-up restaurant.
Yeah.
And in fact,
now like nobody starts a restaurant; they start a supper club.
they start a supper club.
And you're like, what the fuck is the difference between those two things?
Yeah.
It's just you get to like close during the day.
I'm going to say the difference is about 150 Rand per person.
That's true. Yeah.
is what the difference is. But I wanted to do a pop-up, and I remember the conversation being at the time is that they didn't have anything that was going on there in their theaters on a Thursday or some like random
Something
day.
like that, yeah.
And so I said, like, let's do it. And we did it for about 3 years.
Oh, cool.
And it was incredible.
I think we should bring that back.
Not with me doing it, because it's the most exhausting thing you can do on planet Earth. Cooking for, like, there is an inevitability where cooking for more people than 8 becomes catering.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
And
So you compromise your decisions and stuff. Yeah.
And also because in a restaurant, I don't know, how did I get into this topic of conversation?
Yeah.
But like, you're making like bespoke orders for small tables at the time, as opposed to like something like a pop-up or a supper club where you were having to put 30 plates down at the same time.
At the same time,
And
it changes things.
And it was incredible, and we like broke out of that theatre and we started hosting them at like different spots around Maboneng, and we had like Gemma Khan come one evening and perform like her theatre show. We had Tony Bentel come and do a whole cabaret thing one time, and it was
delightful. Do you know Tony Bentel?
Amazing.
He's performed at the Bioscope. He dresses in drag and plays piano.
That's awesome. I love that already.
Yeah,
He's
and
delightful.
Yeah, and we had like
that's so
one of the apartments that had just been built, but no one was living in it.
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
did a pop up there, and he came and played the piano. It was
That's so
amazing.
cool.
Lovely.
But I do think about the fact that I was generally broken for about a week. after.
Did you do like themed dinners?
We
Like,
did. We
okay.
did. It was like but sometimes it wasn't like we got Greek this time. It was more like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
time that
Was
we
that a little Greek accent? Very famous.
very famous.
Yeah.
Greek.
My takeaway from 2 weeks in Greece is that everything is very famous.
Very famous.
That over there is very famous.
Can I tell you my good Greek story?
Yeah, tell me.
It's a good story.
Yeah.
We wanted to see the Acropolis,
Okay.
and the only way to do it is to get up supremely early. Like
Of
get up
course,
at like
yeah.
4 a.m.
Of course.
Be
Oh.
the first people in the queue.
I did it at a very normal time, and I thought it was fine.
Well,
Okay, carry on.
Okay, this is the story that I told myself, and it's how I sleep at night. So,
Okay, no.
anyway, so we're there. We're kind of like there's a queue of people forming to be the first to like get in,
I guess because you want to take photos without people.
The very first
you
people to
want
see
the
the
s-
Acropolis ever.
you want the
Yeah.
sun.
and you want the sun
Yeah, of
low.
course, yeah.
You want
Okay.
it kind of flaring through the
Yeah.
the columns,
Yeah,
and you want all that kind
This
of
is a
stuff.
director talking right here, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay.
And there's one little coffee stand that's kind of there at the
Yeah.
entrance, and people are getting coffee.
And one toilet that just gets decimated.
One toilet that gets decimated. And there's 2 American girls who are there, and I'm going to try and not butcher this punchline, but they get to the front of the queue, and they're like. And I don't want to be a cliche, but they
Yeah, yeah.
unfortunately
Yeah,
did
yeah.
not help themselves by being that
American.
like thing.
Yeah.
It's like, do you have like oat latte? Do you,
Yeah.
decaf?
Half and half.
And the guy looked at them, and he was like this grizzled Greek man who's like been at running this coffee stand since time
Yeah, he's
immemorial.
wearing a wife beater shirt.
I mean,
yeah.
And he looks at them and he goes, "No, black, white, that's it. You order coffee, black, white. I give you coffee." And they were just like, and they had this
Oh,
whole
that's
kind of thing.
lovely.
But it was wonderful.
Awesome, yeah. I've
I don't
always
think I
wanted to go
did
to
that story
Greece.
justice, but anyway.
No,
No, it's good.
It was good.
Very famous. Yeah.
Very famous. You are also known as someone who brings a cricket bat to set.
That is true.
When I told the chommies that you were going to pop in and visit us today, that was how Perrin knew you.
Yeah, and I was like, yay, another cricket lover, because I don't have enough people in my life that love cricket.
I love cricket.
Me too.
What?
I do love cricket.
How the fuck did I not know this?
I don't know, because we've been talking about movies for the last year.
We should go test cricket.
We should.
Yeah.
I think Test cricket is the
It's the
best thing
best
to
format,
go watch because
100%.
Okay, I've got a great watching Test cricket story.
Yeah.
I went with the guy who I started the bioscope with, Daryl Else, who's a very sharp, very funny dude. And next to us in the stands was a dad and a little boy who was just having like the best day because he gets to go to Wanderers with his dad. And I just said, that's so lovely. I said, I want to be the kind of guy that grows up and takes my son to the cricket. And Daryl goes, yeah, on the days that you have him. I love how I'm immediately divorced.
Yes, one of the we went to me and my mate years ago. Australia were playing at Wanderers, and Australia always fucking kicked the shit out of us at Wanderers. But anyways, this was a day where like Australia was particularly giving us a bit of a licking. So like our players were in the field, and Dale Steyn was on the boundary rope, and he was not having a good day. Hey, he was getting smashed around the park. And there was this kid who was so excited that Dale Steyn was there. So he's like trying to pump Dale Steyn up. He's like, "Come Steyn!
Yeah.
Come Steyn!" And my friend's like, "Don't call him Come Steyn."
I saw a dude once with the big billboard that said "Come Stain."
Cumstain was like the comment du jour for a long time. Where
But this kid had no idea that he was calling him
Shame.
Come Steyn.
Shame. Why do you bring the cricket bat? And I know you haven't done it in a while.
It's
Well,
made
why
an
did you bring it?
appearance over the last. Like I kind of quit it while I was doing a commercial for Huggies, and there were lots of babies on set, and the optic of me walking around babies with a cricket bat
Shadow
didn't look good.
batting, yeah.
Also, I do want to say
Yeah.
You have to make
that,
the noise.
the worst PR that cricket bats have received over the last kind of like decade was Oscar Pistorius, and suddenly like cricket bats were.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
That's right.
It really was actually a thing. I suddenly felt really awkward.
Shaun of
walking
the Dead raised it.
Yes.
And then Oscar Pistorius just.
Correct. Yeah. No, so the reason I started taking a cricket bat on set is that at the beginning of my career, I used to be a smoker. And film sets are incredibly well designed for being a smoker.
100%.
Yes.
There
Yeah.
are short bursts of intense focus and concentration. And then when you turn around or you make a new setup, like, you know, the grips and the gaffers and everyone are kind of like redoing all the lights and you're like at a loose end for about 10 to 15 minutes. And so, you know, it has smoke breaks
Yeah.
designed
built in, yeah.
Trauma
into
bonding as
the
well,
way
right?
that the day works.
Yeah. Fuck.
And so when I quit, I needed something to occupy my hands that wasn't a cigarette.
That's crazy. That's
okay.
cool.
Yeah. And so, but
So what would you do?
I like
Just like just hit some forward blocks.
A cover drive.
basically,
Yeah.
you'd
Cover
like-
drives.
Yeah, that's it.
Would you get anyone to throw anything at you?
No, there was always like there's always somebody who would pretend to throw a cricket ball at you, and then you would like pretend to hit it, and then you'd also go, "You're out."
But,
And you'd like,
but every boy ever has done that. They'll
Yeah.
just
And
be
you always
randomly walking and then you just shadow ball. You
Yeah.
know?
that's basically it. I still do it.
Leg spinner,
I
you know?
still do it.
Yeah, same.
And so
And
then-
whenever you hit the shot,
You
you
have
have
to
to, make the noise.
Yeah. So growing up, it's crazy. So we're in a cricket round now. Growing up, I hated cricket because my brothers would watch it obsessively on TV. So like every time I wanted to watch something, they were watching fucking Test cricket. And then one day it just clicked. Like
Yeah.
I just awoke and I was like, cricket's the
I've
best
spoken
fucking
about
sport
this.
in
Yeah,
the world.
it's a little bit like the recording artist Ryan Adams.
who
Not
I saw,
Bra- not Bra-
in Germany.
Lovely.
Just
Oh,
before he got
crazy.
cancelled.
Yeah.
I literally
Yeah,
snuck
yeah.
it in under the door. I was in Berlin and like Ryan Adams was performing at the Tempodrom. And I was like,
Tempodrom?
I'm going to go and see Ryan Adams.
Yeah.
After decades and decades of having to explain, no, there's no B in there.
Yeah.
And then
It's not Summer of
literally
69,
a couple of
yeah.
months afterwards, he was cancelled for being
Yeah.
mean to Mandy Moore.
Yeah.
Turns out he
was
wasn't
very
a-
mean to Mandy
He
Moore.
wasn't a nice
Jesus.
guy.
He was a terrible human being.
Yeah.
But just like emotionally bad.
Very famous.
I don't think he
Yeah.
ever did anything. And I don't want to talk about him.
let's not,
Let's not go there. But when you first hear it, you're like, okay, this is a little bit boring. And then in your 30s, you're like, I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So yeah, cricket just
cricket.
sort of just fits in. It just sort of sinks in.
Listen, old white men have to have something.
Yeah. No, 100%. No, Test cricket is the fucking shit. I love it so much.
What's lovely and actually funny enough, call back to Daryl. He explained it so nicely that it's this beautiful epic story. You know, think of these big epic movies that we love of like villains and revenge
Australia,
and
the villains.
coming back. And,
Australia and India are the villains.
Of course they
yeah.
are. And it's this sort of epic battle that
I
can
agree.
last 5 days. And it's
438 is one of the greatest like sports matches I've ever seen.
yeah, sure.
Fucking hell, what a day, man.
What a day.
It is, yeah, and it and the beautiful thing about it, and this is no joke. I was once invited to pitch for a TED Talk, to give a TED Talk,
Okay.
to be a person who
That's
gives
cool.
a TED Talk,
That's very cool.
and they were interested to know like what I wanted to speak, and I'm not joking. I have long wanted to write a book about how everything in life can be expressed through cricket. And so I
Okay.
said, that's the TED Talk I
That's
want to
amazing.
give. I'd never heard from them again.
Well,
They're like, no, thank you.
I don't know what you guys are doing for the next 40 minutes, but let's hear it now.
It's so funny. It's like one of those things. Me and Graeme have a theory that this the first 10 seasons of The Simpsons is a quote for everything in your everyday life in that show.
Sure.
And it's so true.
Well, I've got a theory that everything terrible about this world is because of soccer.
Ooh.
And just how it teaches basically the whole world how to cheat. Because
Yeah.
they do it.
yeah, FIFA is so corrupt.
And
Jeez.
little impressionable, mostly boys, watch this and go, well, as long as we
let
won,
me dive around. Yeah.
as long as we won, it's okay.
Yeah, I remember seeing there was one clip that popped up on my feed, and people were arguing. There was a guy who got booked for diving, right? And then, like, the one guy was like, "No, that should always be a booking." And the other guy's like, "No, it's he's just like he's hustling the ref. He's like fooling him. That's part of the game." I'm like, "No, that's fucking cheating. Like,
Yeah, and-
absolutely not."
And they argue that bringing in the third umpire will like ruin the momentum. But you're like, look at rugby. It's the
Yeah.
most technical rule based sport, but still brutal at the same
Yeah.
time and fucking entertaining.
But that's the thing though. So I'm a huge football fan as well, and like the thing is with VAR is they just are so bad at doing it, especially in England.
It's because they can match fix.
Yeah, but
the game can be manipulated.
Yeah,
if,
100%.
if the people aren't watching.
yeah. So, anyways,
Anyway, okay.
Sports.
Should we talk
Sports.
Have you watched something recently, Jono, that you are returning to the video store?
I have actually, and in fact, it was on at the Bioscope. Although I didn't watch it at the Bioscope.
It's fine. We won cinema, so it has to work with your schedule, I guess.
Indeed, but I did watch a local film, Variations on a Theme,
Ooh, I've been
which
wanting to watch that. Yeah.
is exquisite. It's really
Amazing.
really wonderful.
In the week that this is coming out, it is screening on Wednesday.
Okay.
At 5
so yeah,
at 5 o'clock. It's actually it's interesting because it's just an hour long.
Yeah, 65 minutes.
So
that's a good-
I have been
yeah.
able to fit it into these like little gaps.
Yeah.
So they may be not the most like on peak times.
Yep.
But I've been able to give it some space.
Yeah, I really, really urge anyone who may be listening to try and see it.
Yeah.
Because I've like it's one of those odd films which is essentially about nothing, and but it's about everything.
Yeah.
And the technique of it is absolutely fascinating in that it's a story about an old lady living in a northern Cape Town, and there's this sort of massive consternation in the community about government payouts for the descendants of the coloured community who fought in World War II.
Oh, that's
that's-
a very cool.
That's essentially the whole plot. It's just that. And it's about how this news kind of filters through this very sort of like small rural community. But the way that the film is shot is that it's divided into little chapters, 6 chapters, I think. And every single chapter of the film is shot with the exact same shots from the exact same angles at the exact same time of day, but just different stuff happens in the frame.
Oh, that's very cool.
And so the opening shot of the film is this old lady letting her goats out for the morning. And then there's a sequence of shots that literally kind of tells the story of her day. And it ends with her going to bed. And then chapter 2, it's the exact same shot, from the
very
exact
cool.
same angle on a different day. And it proceeds to the exact same shot and the exact same shot, but just different things happen every
Yeah.
time. And one day it's misty and cloudy and overcast. And the other day it's like it's sunny. And it's generally the same characters.
Very
in
fitting title,
each
eh?
of these
Yeah.
sort of little moments. And yeah, there's a wonderful little added element to that. But yeah, it's lyrical and it's meditative and it's like as I said, it's one of those wonderful little things that it's 65 minutes long, and so it's not like this massive sort of time investment or whatever. And it really is just this kind of like it falls into this category of something that I'm like fairly like evangelical about, which is it's a local film which is being interesting in the way that it tells a story and telling a simple story very beautifully and with a kind of like a real sort of appreciation for the people. And it's all non-actors. Like this is not an acted thing, and you can sort of feel that in a good way.
Yes.
Because it's incredibly sort of genuine.
It's what you want when you hear all the people say, we've got to tell our stories. You know, and it really is a good example where you are getting the non-actors to tell the stories, as opposed to the same faces that are also on the soaps, that are also on the Netflix movies.
Sure.
It's like, there are a handful of actors and let's give them lots of work. But it is nice to really get that lady from the Karoo to tell her story.
And also like what counts as our stories. Like that is another kind of thing that I'm supremely evangelical about, which is, is there a sense of this being the kind of story that could not exist anywhere else in the world, or is this just our version of the kind of thing that gets turned into films and movies time and time and time again? Here's our version of an action buddy cop, whatever. And not to say that every single one of our one of our films needs to be about
something uniquely South African. Yeah.
rural community
Yeah.
in Peru. Obviously, there's a lot more kind of, variation and like, the rich tapestry.
Yeah, no,
but
100%, yeah.
it just it does feel like something that is uniquely from here and could not sort of be made in the way that it was with the
Lovely.
kind of
Yeah.
vocabulary, with the kind of the way that these people sort of are just naturally as they are on screen. Anyway,
Yeah,
I loved
100%.
it. It was
It'd be
great.
interesting to see where it goes, because that definitely looks like a film that could get stuck somewhere after its cinema release. And with the collapse of Showmax, you sort of wonder where this could end up.
Who picks it up?
But
yeah.
it definitely has gotten a lot of love in film festivals around the world.
Yep.
And so hopefully it can exist on it should exist on like a movie, for example.
Yeah, or Criterion.
It's a Criterion.
Yeah.
It's a very art house film in that sense, and hopefully they'll see it.
I can picture
that.
something like that on Mubi, because Mubi, I mean, Criterion obviously does a lot of niche stuff, but I feel like Mubi do the more, not niche stuff, but like more the festival gems you missed. You know what I mean?
Here's hoping.
That sounds great. Love to
Lovely.
watch it.
Okay, well, thank you for returning that.
It's an absolute pleasure. I hope lots of other people take it up.
Yeah. We like to do a little thing called Hey Did You Guys See? Which is our roundup of what's sort of been going on in the last week. So if you have any, you just got to chime in, and you got to start with a.
I've been
Hey, did
texting you the
guys
whole
see?
week saying like, this is the part of the show that is going to fill me with anxiety because
Yeah.
I've
No.
seen-
So it's not about. You'll see. I've got a feeling you could chime in with some.
Yeah, it's very like there's been times where we've all kind of forgotten. It's just like shit. Okay,
But I can start.
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys see the trailer for the movie Victorian Psycho?
Oh yeah, it looks pretty. It looks
Do you know
interesting.
about this?
I do not.
Okay, it's Bleecker Street.
Yes.
You make interesting, smaller
they do.
Yeah,
stuff.
great studio. Yeah.
And think of it like a fun play on American Psycho, where it is set in the Victorian era. And it doesn't look, it looks like it toes a similar line to an American Psycho in that it is a quite wild, very interesting, quite dark. I don't know. How would you describe
I'd say
it?
it's probably
It's somewhat of a horror.
Yeah, but I mean, American
It's more
Psycho.
of a thriller.
American Psycho is also like I'd argue it's a dark comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and it looks quite
Yeah.
comedic. It looks very
Oh, so that
interesting.
was you answered the question that I was going to ask. Is it like tonally?
Yeah.
Does it feel sincere, or does it feel like it's got a tongue in its cheek?
No, a little bit more taking itself seriously, but I still think it's going to be playful. So it's not taking the piss. It's not.
Isn't it getting quite good buzz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and it will come to South Africa, and it will come to the bioscope.
yeah.
They just don't know exactly when it's going to be dated. I think in the rest of the world, it's fall, which is for us September.
Yeah, spring.
So we'll see. But yeah, Victorian Psycho.
Very
Looks
cool.
interesting.
Is there going to be a scene where they're comparing their business cards with each other?
Wouldn't that the equivalent to that being sort of like comparing the lace edging on your perfumed handkerchief?
Oh my god, it's got a watermark. Yeah. I'll go
go.
next. Pause. Did we talk about Tintin 2?
A little
Okay,
bit.
cool. All right, cool. Then, Palme d'Or wrapped up, Cannes wrapped up, and all
Say it
the
properly.
winners. Yeah, Neon won their 7th Palme d'Or in a year in a row.
Properly.
Sorry. Oh, fuck.
It's fine.
Hey, did you guys see? Neon won their 7th Palme d'Or in a row at
Yes.
Cannes with
So this-
Fjord. Yeah.
So Cannes is just wrapped up.
It has.
It's always in May.
Yep.
And we've got a few friends that we've seen flaunting themselves around Cannes. So it's all a little bit of FOMO. It's a delightful place. Have you gone?
I've never been
I'd
to
love
Cannes.
to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I
it
went
is-
once and it was delightful, and I realized I don't need to necessarily go there every year as an exhibitor, but I'm really glad I went.
when I did a short film, which Russell, you know, because you screened it in the bioscope. But
Oh
when
yeah,
it was,
which one was that?
it's called Awake.
Yes.
And when we were doing our kind of festival run, I entered just about every single film festival that had Cannes in the title, even though 99% of them are literally not associated with Cannes in any official way and are like in somebody's garage 75 kilometers away from what could be considered the outer limits of Cannes. Purely because I wanted to, at some point in my life, say, yes, I've been to Cannes.
Amazing.
It was just like this weird thing until I realized actually that I was just throwing an enormous amount of like money on entries at film festivals that are not even remotely legitimate or Cannes associated in any other way.
But yeah, this movie Fjord, which we don't know much about.
Yeah, it's Christian Miengu. He's a Romanian filmmaker. He did, so he won Palme d'Or before.
Yeah,
for an abortion drama called 4 Months, 3 Weeks, 2 Days, which is incredible.
It is. It falls into
that
one of those.
feels like a very niche genre, an abortion drama.
It's a rich genre.
Really?
No, but it's a great film. It's a very hard watch, but it's fucking phenomenal.
I do remember that film, and it falls into a category of films that has several entries in my canon of films that were transformative, but I never ever want to watch again.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yes. I've got a few of
Synecdoche,
those.
New York being number one on that list.
So it was Synecdoche, New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a great...
Remember
I've
watching
never
that?
watched it. I've never watched it.
It's incredible. I went with my friend Morgan Dingle, shout out Morgan,
it's mind-bending. Jesus.
and watched it in 4 ways on a random Tuesday afternoon at 2:00 and coming out into the daylight after having watched Synecdoche, New York.
Yeah.
And then, like, we literally looked at each other and said, cool, we need to not be around each other or human beings for anything for the next at least a day.
It's crazy that was Charlie Kaufman's directorial debut.
And he chose a name that is very difficult to pronounce.
It's a very depressing movie. Jesus, like my girlfriend hates it. She fucking hates that movie.
Well, it sounds like a toughie.
It's incredible. It's like this
incredible.
wonderful sort of commentary on the human condition. But like you get out of that and you go, great. I'm glad that I've sort of ticked that off some sort of self-flagellation bucket list. If that's a real thing. Never ever want to see this again.
Yeah. That's a great movie.
I'm trying to think of what movies are like that for me. As they come to me, I'll shout them out.
It's a great list to kind of play with in your head.
Let's call it the one and done list.
The one and done list.
It's so funny though.
The one and done.
There's so many one and dones on my list, but I've gone back and rewatched them so many times.
And you done them again.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, this doesn't quite work. The seconded and done list, you know.
But the whole thing, which I'm sure you've seen, is that the distribution company Neon have claimed the fact that they've won the Palme d'Or 7 times in a row.
Yeah.
Just wild.
What they don't really tell you is how many fucking movies Neon enters into the Palme d'Or. Yeah. So they have a really good chance every year. They basically go like, well, this is our hunting ground.
Yeah.
We're going to buy these movies. And so like out of, I don't know, how many are in competition? 12,
there's usually about
18?
There's like 18, 20, yeah.
Like
it's quite a large field, actually. Yeah.
They have bought 50 to 60% of those films before.
But that's the thing, though. So, like, the difference between Neon and A24, at least, they are making movies now, right? They're actually a production company instead of just a distributor now. With Neon, one thing I appreciate about Neon is they tend to go for the more world cinema stuff.
Yeah, sure.
As opposed to A24.
Because I'm assuming Fjord is Scandinavian.
So the director's Romanian, but it's set in Norway. So it's got Renate Rensvia. She was worst person in the world. She plays the wife to Sebastian Stan's character, who is he's actually Romanian.
Yeah, Sebastian Stan is Romanian.
And he's wanted to work with this director for years because this director put Romania on like the world map for cinema.
I think Stan is short for a much longer Romanian surname.
Good 2 weeks for Romania.
Yeah. I mean,
can you tell me why also
No.
the other Romanian triumph of the last 2 weeks?
No.
3rd at Eurovision.
Oh yeah, crazy.
With a song. Does anyone know the title of the song?
No.
Choke Me.
I love Eurovision. It's the dumbest thing in the world.
Good 2 weeks for Romanian entertainment.
Who won Eurovision?
Bulgaria.
Bulgaria. With the banger Bangaranga. I won't sing it.
I fucking love it.
I fucking love Eurovision.
What a weird time we live in, Jeez, like But yeah, no,
And
that's
I love how it's like the sort of cultural version of the FIFA World Cup. It's just like it's this nation coming together to back some of the most ridiculous people.
Yeah.
I want to do a little quick segue, if I may.
Please.
In conversation about Bulgaria and the Eurovision win, a person that I was having this conversation with literally said, "Have you ever followed the official Instagram account for Bulgarian tourism?" And we're like, no. And he's like, it's incredible, and you should, because one of the things that happens in Eurovision is that the winner is the host of next year's Eurovision.
Yeah, of course.
So Eurovision is going to Bulgaria, and on the official Instagram account for Bulgarian tourism, they released a like horror film sort of parody where it was like, "Where are we? You're in Bulgaria now."
Amazing.
It's like for all the people who are going to have to go there for next year's
Amazing.
Eurovision.
Love that.
Jesus. What is
They're
the,
incredibly self-aware. It's very cool.
I love that. That's amazing.
it's the same as Kazakhstan eventually
Yeah, embracing
embraced
Borat. Yeah.
Borat, because they were like,
Yeah.
it's unavoidable.
Yeah.
He's
Anyway.
a pain in my assholes.
Yeah, he's a pain in my assholes. King of the castle, king of the castle.
That's a
I have
very good
chair, I have a
Borat.
chair.
He does a very good Borat.
He's got a good Borat on you
Yeah,
there.
thanks, man. Do you want to? We can skip past.
Well,
if you want.
you've done a good one already, but do you have
yeah,
anything
but no,
else?
I had a, and this is one of those where I'm going to ask a question, but I don't know the answer to it.
Okay.
Which is, so I don't know, like if there's somebody who's going to get on a Google machine, but it's like, as a sort of like a weird drinking game, what was the longest standing ovation this year, and who got it?
Okay. So yeah, this wankiness happens at Cannes.
Yes, it does.
Where
Famous for.
where some dickhead in the corner is tasked with
it's gonna
timing it. And so you're right. We've joked about it every year that we get told how long the standing ovations are.
And
Yeah,
it feels like
bullshit.
it feels like it's ripe for some kind of
It's
like
like a-
lottery sweepstakes drinking
Jesus.
game, or
It's a rotten
something.
tomato meter. It's the can clapper meter.
Yes.
And I think
I've got
do we
the
have one?
answer. The Black Ball, which won, I think it won Best Director. Actually, let me tell you,
Because I saw
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
People don't realize a minute is long. Clapping.
Yeah.
20 fucking minutes. Fuck off.
And do you know that I'm a notorious like standing ovation Grinch?
Me
Yeah.
too. I do not give them out.
It's
I've
this-
done it once or twice in my whole life.
This whole performative thing
Yeah.
of like leaping to your feet.
And I've so often sat in my seat as an act of defiance
with
to go,
your arms crossed.
Me
"No,
too.
frowning.
I can clap.
No.
I can clap. And I go, this deserves a clap, but
Yeah.
I am not standing up with
And at
all
some
of you
point,
other motherfuckers.
You feel like a real asshole because
Yeah.
you are literally the only person. Everyone around you is kind of like, to their
It's the
feet.
same as my letterbox. I haven't given out to 5 stars because I haven't lived my whole life.
Bro,
and I do
life's
not know
too short not to give 5 stars.
anything
to
that's
every-
got. No, I've got a few things that's got 4.5. Like it's come real close, but it's like I don't know what 5 stars is yet.
What would be your perfect movie? Well, like what's the closest thing that's come to perfection for you personally? It doesn't have to be your favorite movie because often our favorite movies we can see
Yeah.
flaws in them, right? But like, what would you, off the top of your head? I have a feeling it'd be a Gooey Russell movie.
Yeah, we could talk about goos. I remember thinking like something astounding for Boyhood.
Oh,
I
yeah,
remember
okay.
thinking the anime Your Name. I think it was
Your
just because it was
Name, yeah,
during
yeah.
COVID, and I was just like, me and Cole like called each other out like the characters of the movie. That they call each other, like they call across
Yes.
time and multiverse. Myself and Cole would call each other Mitsuha, and he's like "Tududu-des." We'd like shout across the fucking house as housemates.
Amazing.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Well, we can
Also did
psychoanalyze
something-
Russell here, but I
Oh,
have
fuck
your.
Oh damn
Oh,
it!
wait, I know what your favorite movie is. I think this would be a 5.
Uh-huh.
Her.
Oh,
Well,
very close.
Wow.
Yeah,
Lost in Translation.
I can quickly give you a list of all of his 4.5 because there are no 5 stars.
yeah, that's what we've just said. Yeah.
Parasite,
Okay.
Everything Everywhere All at Once,
Yeah.
Her,
Yeah.
Jojo Rabbit,
Okay.
Hamnet,
Yes.
Before Sunset, 1917, Boyhood, Captain Fantastic and When They See Us. Those
I'm
are your
sitting
only
at
4.5.
Fantastic.
Let's talk about Captain
Wait, I'm
Fantastic.
surprised Lost in Translation isn't there.
It's pre-letterboxed.
Yeah, because Lost in Translation, isn't that the movie that made you want to go to Japan?
No, but I mean, it's amazing.
So
Great
so
movie.
when I
Joker
was
4 stars. What are you doing? I'm judging you.
that's
Yeah, I see. This is
wild.
what we talk.
Who the fuck are you, you fucking loser?
So interestingly enough,
Incel.
Can you see I've stopped rating movies in the last
I
year?
started doing that for the last couple of years.
I'm gonna keep my rating to myself.
it's
4
interesting.
star for Jaws.
In preparation
Come
for
on.
coming here this morning, I did want to kind of like go, oh my God, please write down some of like films that are very important to you so you don't forget them in the moment. And Lost in Translation is one of my all-time. I
Same.
think I saw
Yeah.
it 11 times in the theater.
It's a perfect movie.
I went to Japan with the intention of sitting in that bar,
Yeah,
which I
yeah.
did. The conversation that
Amazing.
where Bill Murray is sitting there and he's still got the clips on his jacket and the two guys
Yes,
like, aren't you
yeah,
that guy? You know, like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm sitting where those two guys were sitting when I
was
went.
your jacket clipped as well?
My jacket was not clipped.
Okay.
Although later that evening, going back to where I was staying and taking one of the trains, I did see a very, very surreal, huge billboard ad for some kind of like Japanese equivalent of Fanta that had
cool.
a very heavily photoshopped Richard Gere kind of wearing a sort of like pork pie hat,
Amazing.
and which I took a picture of, and I still have some.
But
Anyway.
I have often gone a ring a ding ding
A ring a ding
Yeah,
ding.
yeah.
every time I've taken a sip of whiskey.
Yeah.
Also
Lat
on
Pack? Lat Pack?
Lat
No,
Pack?
Lat Pack?
Also, there are a couple of ads who work literally, who one of whom I'm working with right now, who will very occasionally, when calling cut, because the AD is traditionally the person who calls cut, will say cutto, cutto,
Yeah.
cutto, cutto, cutto.
Yeah, great.
When dressing my little 4-month-old daughter, I think I quoted "lip them," "lip them" when I was like,
Lip
them. Oh, Mr. Harris.
I do like all the
And
things that have
Leslie-
lodged in our minds are all the things that like Lost in Translation has not had a great sort of like second life.
Yeah.
in a,
But the best fact about Lost in Translation and Her is the fact that it was made by two people that were once together.
Yeah, Spike
So
Jones.
Spike
and
Jones
Sophia.
and Sophia Coppola were a couple. They split and they each made these movies about
That's true, eh?
finding love
Yeah.
and company and longing and the search for
That's,
you are.
That soundtrack is
which one?
Lost in Translation.
Yeah, I own both.
Yeah,
Do you know that Her was partly composed by Arcade Fire?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
so because of the Lost in Translation soundtrack, so I also think that soundtrack is it's probably one of
formative.
only 3 soundtracks that I own.
Yeah.
Like I have it on an actual CD, and I was so taken with that soundtrack, especially with all the Air stuff on, on that soundtrack.
the French band called Air.
Death in Vegas at the beginning as well. Yeah.
And it took me down an Air rabbit hole, and one of my favorite music videos of all time is an Air music video made by, I'm gonna say, Mike Mills,
Oh, cool.
and it's basically just this sort of mini documentary about a couple who, and you just see them being interviewed, and it's for the Air track All I Need. Anyway,
Oh, great song. Yeah.
and I was like, the visual style of Lost in Translation and the style of this Air music video, I essentially I was engaged at the time, and I basically made like a half an hour sort of film about my fiance at the time with just Air music over it, because
crazy.
I just wanted to be I had a mini DV cam which I had essentially stolen from my place of employment at the time. Anyone who asked for it was like, yeah, I'll bring it in tomorrow, and I just kind of had it the whole time.
Cat's out the bag, man.
And yeah. It's, and I all I wanted to do was kind of film women walking sort of semi-mournfully through wheat fields and busy urban streets.
I love how this is the film version of getting your chick's name tattooed on your body.
yeah.
You're like, I really hope this works
Did
out
you-
because otherwise this will be an awkward tattoo.
Did you also film plastic bags getting caught up in the wind?
I never did a plastic bag. I never
Okay.
did a plastic bag, but I did lots of kind of moody sunrises.
But don't you
and-
love the fact that even in Lost in Translation, Scarlett Johansson character wanted to be a thoughtful photographer and admits like she couldn't make that kind of proper stuff. She's like, it was just photographs of people's feet.
Yeah, because also Giovanni Ribisi is her husband in it, right?
Yeah.
And he's a rock star photographer. Yeah, he's a music band. He was
photographing Anna Faris.
Yes, yeah.
He was kind of playing herself.
Yeah. She was promoting an action movie. Yeah, I remember that.
But also, who among us have not taken a picture of someone's feet and thought, oof.
Yeah. Black and white photo.
I've really captured something here.
Yeah, sure.
I'm really saying something with this picture.
There was a point in my life where I was like, I'm going to be a photographer. Really. Like at varsity, I was taking photos of all my friends who wanted to be like models, and I was going for it. But I love this. I was in a band with one dude, and his dad was a professional photographer. And we actually rehearsed in his like studio. And I was like, I really want to talk to the dad, just to like pick the brain of this dude. And I don't know whether I caught him on like a bad day, but I'm actually kind of grateful because when I asked him, he's like, don't do this for a living. He's like, keep it a hobby. Like, just do it for the love and fun of it. He's like, if you're going to do this professionally, eventually you're going to take photos of food.
That's so true,
And
actually.
I like must have caught him at the end of like a grumpy day.
Yeah.
Photographing a whole bunch of food that you can't eat. You can't touch any of those burgers in Steers commercials.
And they're not actually edible.
As somebody
they have nail polish over them.
Well, that's actually not true.
Okay.
So as somebody who has, in very recent memory over the last 18 months, I think done about 4 or 5 Steers commercials.
Oh, wow.
Give us a glimpse behind the curtain.
Behind the curtain. Okay, so I'm going to give, like, food stylists are incredible people.
Yeah.
They're incredible
Talented
people.
age.
They work unbelievably hard. Their lives are insane. And there is an incredible food stylist whose name is Bianca Delides, who actually does a lot of the stuff that I've done. And she's incredibly talented and works for everyone. But there is, and I do remember like everyone sort of like saying, yes, like it's not like steam, it's cigarette smoke, and it's not mayo, it's glue, and like all of those stories. And it's like, and it's actually not true. All that really food styling kind of does these days is like, and I sound like a shill for the food styling industry, but like they generally just like they'll take a shipment of 1,000 Steers buns and they'll go through them and pick the best 5, and they will go to like the supermarket.
Process.
Yeah, basically,
crazy,
and like just get the 10 most perfect tomatoes, and they're just cut and prepared and sort of done perfectly. And there's also, they do little tricks where they kind of slice them open at the back. And you've got
so much time because things can wilt quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. And like there's sort of like a half-life to, the burger's starting to look, a little sad, and chips are starting to, and they just have a production line where they're just churning out just sort of the perfect versions of these things that are made kind of just really, really, and they do little tricks where they'll cut the tomato, like they'll slice it at the back and then they'll open it out so that the rim of the tomato perfectly aligns with the end of the burger. But it is just like a lot of incredibly precise work with very small tweezers and eyedroppers, where just so that like the perfect dribble of sauce can come over the edge of a thing, or like that's like the gherkin or the literal kind of like fingernail sliver of onion can be in the perfect spot. And so it is just about like incredibly precise deployment of the perfect ingredient, like that lasts for 10 minutes that you can shoot, and then it's crazy. And then it's
what was your feeling towards Steers after all these commercials?
Does
it make you hungry?
Steers is delicious.
Like you have no idea. Like also because the food stylists will make an enormous amount of like Steers chips, for example, and it's because like crew, when they're done with the shot, we'll all eat those chips. And so like,
otherwise
just because you've been around it doesn't mean that you aren't still hungry for a Steers. And like my favorite part about doing a Steers commercial is that the food stylists will often say like, for lunch, they'll come like, do you want a burger? I'll make you like the perfect burger.
Literally the perfect burger.
Yeah. And I'm like, hell yes. I will absolutely fucking take that burger. And it's fucking delicious.
Yeah.
And so like the worst version of like a food commercial thing that you have to like tangle with is the dreaded cheese pull.
Oh yes, yeah.
You
Cheese
will,
pull?
yeah. So
What is
you know
that?
when you pull a slice of pizza out, you know, and in a commercial, like the
Yeah.
cheese kind of like melts and stretches and
Yeah.
pulls. Like any pizza brand is incredibly invested in the cheese pull.
Yeah.
Like how the cheese pull looks.
Okay.
And you will shoot endless takes of that
Yeah.
just so that everyone feels like they've got the perfect cheese pull.
Yeah, it's become a.
you will
Are you, are
lose-
you the guy? Are you the
like a
guy that can
trend.
give a cheese pull?
I mean, listen, I did one cheese pull back in the day, and it's
And
like
everyone's
one of
like, he's the guy, he's the boy.
cheese pull guy. I wasn't the cheese pull guy.
It's the same as, have you heard the story about the expert that the 80s, 90s bands brought in to do the fade out?
no.
So
But they
was
just turned the volume
dude,
down.
it was a line item that went around. I can't say which one. It's one of these like sort of funny rumors, but it's that sort of like Fleetwood Mac era
Sure.
of opulence and excess, where they would have a line item for a guy who was known as the dude who could bring in and the perfect fade out. They didn't have a guy. That was their drugs. But they convinced the studios
Very good.
that there was a fade out guy that they would bring in. Meanwhile, he faded out their consciousness
Or brought it to life.
or brought it to
Yeah.
life.
One of the two.
Okay, lovely.
that.
What are you in the middle of now, or on the cusp of, in terms of? I guess
A lot, actually. So, although it would not look like it because like I've got time to come and spend some time in the video store, but
we appreciate it.
I'm currently on directing on season 2 of the Netflix show Marked.
Oh, cool.
I hope I'm allowed to talk about that. Anyway, I'm sure we are. And so, yeah, we're currently in about week 4 of production.
Very cool.
Okay.
But obviously, you know, there's multiple directors. And so, like, I've got a couple of days off.
What's the show?
So it's a Netflix show called Marked. Marked. It came out last year in June last year.
Okay. What's the premise?
The premise is it's a Johannesburg like heist action
cool.
show.
Oh, cool.
But the sort of the elevator pitch for season 1, I guess, which you kind of you learn about in episode 1, is what if sort of ex-cop turned cash and transit driver really, really, really needed a lot of money.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
That's
That's the pitch, right?
that's the pitch.
The fact that it's gotten a season 2 is
Yeah.
good.
No,
because
we're
Netflix
incredibly
is is ruthless in that sense.
yeah, we're incredibly
Did you work
proud.
on season 1?
I did. And so
Okay,
what's
cool.
really amazing is our incredible showrunner, Akin Omatozo, who should be...
Fuck, he's going to be a guest on the show soon.
Oh, cool.
Well, there you go. So Akin is the sort of creator of season 1, written with an amazing young writer called Sydney Dyer. And yeah, it was 6 episodes.
Nice.
I was lucky enough to be brought on to direct on episode 5, and the other director was who, if you've not had her on, you should have her on. Her name is Matsepo. She's fantastic. And so yeah, we did season 1, and we have been blessed
Very
to do
cool.
season 2.
Lovely.
So yeah, we're currently literally as we speak shooting that. At the end of last year, I actually got the opportunity to direct on another Netflix show, which will be coming out soon. The problem is that I don't know what it's going to be called when it does come out, because we always shoot under code names.
Yeah, for sure.
And so
Yes, that's a famous thing that
Yeah.
always happens, so that people don't know
Yeah.
what the production is.
Correct.
Some of the biggest movies in the world have had the dumbest
yeah.
production names,
Yeah.
which is cool.
And so we had a code name when we were shooting, and I know that it's not going to be the name of the thing, and I don't know what it is yet.
Can you share the code name?
I'm going to share the code name. The code name we were shooting under was called Detention,
Okay.
because there's quite a sort of a big prison gang element to the show,
Okay.
and that
That's
was
lovely, man.
incredibly exciting. And sort of
So
good.
do you enjoy the TV format? What's your sort of sweet spot, or what would you want to be doing more of, or
I'm gonna give a long answer to a short question, which is kind of like my speciality, and I hope that's
Cool.
okay. We were all. I don't know if you guys ever remember a series of DVDs that were released in the kind of early mid 2000s, which was like the Director's Collection.
Yes.
Oh, the music video, those thick boxes.
It was Mark Romanek, it was Spike Jones,
Yeah.
it was
Michelle
Chris
Gondry.
Cunningham, it was Michelle Gondry.
Yeah.
Like those
I had all of them actually.
DVDs.
Yeah, they
we
were
all
seminal.
Did. We
Yeah.
all did. And
Yeah.
like there's a specific generation of
Yeah, they-
filmmakers whose brains were broken by that whole thing. We owned them all.
Because Cunningham stuff was so dark.
It was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
dark.
And then
Mark
the
Romanek's-
Gondry stuff was so cool
Jonathan
to see.
Glazer also. had
Oh
one.
my God.
Yeah.
And so, but what it convinced us of, it convinced us that we could have it all.
Yeah, 100%.
Like that our careers could, like, why couldn't we direct commercials, also music videos, also go make feature
Yeah,
films?
yeah.
Like, and the way that the industry has always been and still is that no, you must
You're a this,
swim
pick
in one
that.
lane. Swim. If you're a commercials director, you're a commercials director. If you're a feature film director, if you're a TV guy, you're a TV guy. And so like, and I essentially just operated under the assumption, like one of the, like looking at that Spike Jones, you know, speaking
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Lost and Found, like looking at that DVD literally made me believe
Yeah.
that I could have the kind of career where I could do anything and everything.
Yeah.
And so like that's the sort of assumption that I've been laboring under my whole life. And so like
Yeah.
I have spent the first 15, 16 years of my career being a commercials director. Like that's how I started, but it was never the sum total of my ambition. Like I always wanted to make.
You
Of
could
course, right.
certainly
Yeah, yeah.
see how commercial directing can be a little trap that you can
It is
stay
a trap.
in.
It's 100% a trap.
Because it's
pays
comforting,
the
there's
bills, yeah.
lots of work.
Yep.
You don't have to.
AI is coming to change all of that, but
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
I was
that's,
speaking to someone yesterday and he was just talking about life and work and his business and his job. And he said something like, and with this whole AI thing. And I was like, the
Yeah.
fact that you are referring to it like a huge world changing cultural revolution
It
as,
is. It
as
fucking is,
that
yeah.
AI thing
Yeah, yeah.
tells me that you are not ready for
Yeah,
it.
The thing is,
yeah.
the thing
And that
is,
it is going to swallow you.
but do you know what's scary about it as well? Because it's also so I do mostly videography stuff. So a lot of the AI stuff that's coming into like DaVinci Resolve and stuff like that are like they keep on saying, oh, but it's tools. Use it as tools, right? So like we use it to like clean up audio and stuff like that. But like there's other aspects like this new update that's coming where I'm just like, fuck, this is like we don't want people to know that AI can like pretty much do everything at the drop of a hat now. You know,
This
it's
is a large
scary.
philosophical debate, and if there is a version of this, like an after dark version of this, where
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like there's a lot that I would love to get into on that because I do think that there are aspects of it that is a tool.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
And it is there as a, and in fact, I was sitting with Akin on set like a week ago, and we were having this exact discussion about A, what you are training your audiences
Yeah.
to appreciate, and B, are you using it to generate things from scratch, or are you using it to enhance what it is,
Yeah.
to expand your capabilities as a filmmaker?
Yeah.
And if it's the second one, like I have less issue with it, but I do think that the germ, the seed of what it is that you make should feel or should come from being on a set with people and a
I
camera.
agree. 100%. Yeah.
And and because there are accidents and there are things that happen in front of a lens that you didn't plan that are always going to be
Yeah.
better. Like, and the thing that they say about, and I'm just going to finish this sentence.
yeah.
Sorry, God, I feel like I've just kind of, TED talked to your own podcast. But like, there's these like things that they always say like, oh, you can make anything that you can imagine. Truth is, none of us can imagine things that imagine.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
our imaginations are fairly limited.
That's true.
And so like you kind of need the accident of being in a place with a thing to kind of spark stuff that you would never have thought of.
Well,
Anyway,
I mean,
that was the end of
just
it.
like a small detail. Sorry. Like, I mean, it's not the same with what you're saying, but like when you talk about like accidents happen on set that like enrich the film, or it makes it feel like humans made it, right? I can't remember which director it is, But there was a shot where it was like a really great movie or whatever, and there's a fly in the frame, and it like lands on the actor or whatever.
It lands on his face.
Yeah, or
it's like in Godfather or something wild.
I didn't think it was that. It was something fairly recent, but there was like a fly, and like the people were like, okay, well, the editor was like, okay, we can't use this shot because there's a fly. And the director's like, no, that's like the most real thing that's happened in this whole movie is that a fly came in there that is not an actor.
Yeah.
And it's just, that happened. That's actual real life that just happened. So he likes to keep those little things in it. You know what I mean? Which I like. I like that, you know, film isn't supposed to just be this polished thing that is like perfect in every single way, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And like I agree with the tool thing. It's there to help you. You know, you're not using AI to start things from scratch and end it at the top. Like you aren't using AI to write an entire script because then that's bullshit. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Well, no, it's just I think of all those music videos of Michel Gondry. It's like
those are so creative. It's insane.
That came from his crazy weird brain.
Yeah.
And I don't think AI could ever come up with those ideas. Perhaps once thought through, you could have used AI to have executed some of it because it was so labor intensive.
Yeah.
Especially the writing and the thought.
But that's the thing though. AI, technically AI isn't, AI thought with like creative elements and stuff like movies and stuff like that aren't actually original because it's just scraping the internet of everything that's been done before. You know how they say everything's a copy of a copy. But like I remember when they were the Writers Guild in America were protesting, where they were on strike, and one of the big talking points was AI. And one of the placards was like, AI can't write what I write because it didn't share the same generational, like the same childhood trauma that I did. And it's so true. You know what I mean? So it's interesting to see where things are going to go, and it's also scary, especially in creative industries. You know, it's fucking terrifying actually. So yeah,
it's a big reason why, and I mean, I don't want to be flippant about it, but I mean, the thing that, I mean, and this just sort of loops it back to what you were saying about advertising being quote unquote a trap or a place that you can comfortably stick around in. And so like, I always say this, that I have been incredibly lucky and continue to be really lucky to have a commercials career, which I love. I enjoy it profoundly.
It's good.
It doesn't mean that I want it to be the sum total of my film. I've never wanted it to be the sum total of my filmmaking career. Never, not once. Yeah. And so it's why, you know, like in as early as sort of 2015, I started to be very sort of intentional about the fact that I wanted to start at least attempting to break out into longer format storytelling, which is a very wanky way of saying, you know, things that are longer than 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's funny, you will sit down with producers, you will start to try that journey.
Yeah.
And the sort of the pushback is always very quick and quite profound. It's like, oh, you're a commercials guy. Like, we can't trust you with, you know, more complex character arcs. We can't, like, you know, you guys work slow. You want all the toys and blah, blah, blah. And so it was a long journey to try and convince people that, like, no, this is actually like a really sort of important thing that I want to do.
TV shows would be a good next step to show that you can do those.
And I'm lucky.
Have we done a feature yet?
Okay. It's in the works.
Yeah.
I had. It's funny. Like you start to write. You have things that you like. I have a project that I started writing in 2017. I did a proof of concept short film, which very few people have seen. Which, like, you know, I mean, again, I think about this all the time. And we spent 3 days shooting. We built sets. We like did some.
You went in.
We went in hard.
Yeah.
And I made lots of mistakes on that, and I didn't make it like a self-contained narrative. I didn't make it something that I could send to festivals. I think about it often. I made it as a proof of concept, which means that it could never be shown just as a sort of a thing, because it was always attached to a larger thing that I was trying to sell or get made. And I also think about the fact that, like, 3 days of shooting, set building, etc., I could literally have done pretty much the same thing like at home now.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, a very, you know, less 9 years later, I would do things very differently.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so you build up a raft of like things that you want to write, that you have written, that you're trying to sort of like push and get made, and they sort of languish a little bit, and you start to work in a more kind of familiar territory. Well, you start to work in TV, you start to get your first opportunities on shows and stuff, and then suddenly that thing that I never thought possible, where people approach you with stuff, and you I started a conversation the other day with some really like interesting young guys who've got a script, and it's really good. I can't really talk about it. But that looks like
it could really happen.
That looks like it's going to happen.
That's very
Fingers
cool,
crossed.
man.
Fingers
Lovely.
crossed.
Yeah.
Something that I think there's a reason why I put the two of you guys together in the same room.
Because we like cricket.
It's because you like cricket. A love for physical media, which is something we must talk about as well.
I really want to talk about this. Anyway,
But I just want to touch on one thing quickly, because Perrin, at one point you spoke to us about, you know, there was that particular generation of filmmakers that came from like the self-taught ones, right?
Yeah.
It's famously Tarantino,
It's like PTA, Soderbergh, those guys,
Those are the kids that grew up in the video store, literally and kind of figuratively. And now you've got this generation of filmmakers that grew up in YouTube.
Yeah.
And like we are in the cusp of the generation of YouTube filmmakers because, hey, did you guys see? Obsession has now broken the record to be the most profitable film of all time.
Yeah. Great movie.
Because it was
Fucking
made
great.
for 750,000,
Yeah, and there's a
and
YouTubers who made it. Carrie
it's
Baker.
it's on the cusp of making over 100 million.
And Backrooms is out this week, and it's also made by a YouTuber. He's like 21 now.
Yeah, and I
It's
think of
insane.
Iron Lung, which did really well around the world. So it's like, and also Talk to Me. Those guys,
the
those
Philippe
Australians
brothers,
were from YouTube. So that's exciting, and I think that's cool about you probably, because you said you're dealing with young dudes with the script. It's just, that's what made me think of it, is the fact that there's a whole generation that's just like, let's fucking do it.
I agree. And I always think that weirdly, music is the tip of the spear when it comes to the stuff. Like I always think of music as being the canary in the coal mine. Like you look to the trends that have happened in music, and like other, filmmaking is essentially just a couple of steps behind. And so if I think about all the things that we were told when smartphones started to have decent cameras, there's going to be, an entire generation are just going to make movies on their phones, and they were almost right. Like it wasn't quite, but sort of.
Yeah.
And people sort of thought that the camera was the thing, not the platform.
Yeah.
And that editing software, and it was less about cameras, and was actually more about sort of editing software, and it was more about like a place to put it.
Yeah.
And if you think about the sort of the Danger Mouses, the Billie Eilishes, like the people who literally just made legit huge albums, but the first of the real kind of bedroom garage laptop warriors.
Billie Eilish's first album was done in like a bedroom, wasn't
exactly.
it? Yeah.
And with her and Phineas, and so like having that kind of level of success legitimized that as an approach to making music. It really was
it's
kind
very
of like,
interesting.
you like. Everyone sort of joking like, like these kids will make these things, but no one's really going to take it seriously, and it's kind of going to exist in its own cultural cul-de-sac. And it's like, no, that is now a legitimate mainstream way to create like well-regarded
music
that sells insane amounts of copies.
Very true. Yeah.
And so I think about that mental like. And it is just a mental shift where it's like, there are these guys mucking around on YouTube, and now we're doing the thing that music has already done.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's starting to be
That's
taken.
an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah.
I'll never forget one guy going, straight men will wear what gay dudes are wearing in 2 years' time.
That's exactly, yeah.
And also like Japan, go back to Japan. You walk through those streets of Osaka.
Yeah,
and
they're
you're
like 10 years ahead.
And you're
It's
like, oh
crazy.
my God, you guys are wearing the craziest shit.
Yeah.
It is wild.
They're wearing Blade Runner
and they're
fashion,
bringing back these like big baggy pants, and you're like, here we are. We're wearing it right now.
Yep. Yeah.
But it's crazy because, like you said, like when cameras started going on phones, people were like, oh, now this is going to be the new norm. As a film I spoke about before, I think Wim Wenders actually directed it. It's a documentary. It's called Room 666. And it was shot at, so there's two. There's Room 666 and Room 999.
Yeah.
So Room 666 was done in, I think, 1980 at Cannes. And there's a specific room at Cannes in like a hotel that Wim Wenders just sat a camera down, and he got all the directors, most of the directors that were screening at the time. So Fassbinder was there, Spielberg was there, all these like big fucking names were there. And he just placed the camera. He's like, you can direct this however you want, and I want you to tell me the state of film right now. And guys would come in there and be like, oh, VHS, TV is coming in and now it's going to ruin cinema. Cinema is dead as we know it.
Yeah.
But then all the other guys that like the ones who especially stuck around, like the Spielbergs and the Fassbinders and stuff like that, they're like, no, I don't see any issue with this. This is actually just going to make filmmaking more accessible for people. And then Room 999, which is also interesting because it shows with 666, the cool thing about that movie is it's a time capsule of showing the panic of TV. Oh no, VHS is going to ruin everything, and it didn't. And now the 999 one is about the age of streaming. What's going to happen now? And there are filmmakers in there who are like, oh, filmmaking's dead. We are fucked. Like movies as we know it are done. But then other guys are like, no, we just adapt. Like when fucking sound came into movies, talkies, people at the time were like, cinema's dead. Like, storytelling's dead as we know it.
Literally, this past weekend
It's crazy.
is where this film Obsession is breaking these records.
Yeah.
And it's like setting a new world record. It's clearly working.
Totally. And I think the next version of that discussion is vertical.
Yeah.
I mean, we've always had this obsession that film is meant to be a widescreen thing.
Yeah,
it's meant to be
rectangle,
something
right?
that the aspect ratio that you shoot in, and it's built for the room that we're sitting in right now.
Yeah.
And like the next version of that is the fact that is not the platform upon which the next generation of people are going to be watching their movies. They are going to be watching it in vertical, and this might be old hat or stuff that you guys have spoken before, but there are studios, and there are local studios who are making specifically for vertical. They shoot vertical. It is designed only to be watched on a phone in vertical aspect ratio.
What was the name of that? There was that streaming service that like lasted like a month. It was like a huge Quibi. That's
Quibi.
It. Yeah, I remember that. Like they were supposed to be like 6-minute serial films.
They were all
basically.
Short stuff. The real conundrum there is there was a streaming service that launched during the pandemic, and it failed.
Yeah, like it bombed spectacularly.
It should. That was like the perfect time.
And they had big names
for a
attached,
streaming
like
service,
actors and stuff. It was crazy.
That was the perfect time for a streaming service to succeed, but it bombed hard.
Yeah, one of my there's a funny meme I saw recently where they're like, Tarkovsky, the genius of the Tarkovsky thinking ahead is he shot Stalker in 4x3 so you could play Temple Run. You could fit it perfectly on the side. Visionary.
I want to find you something to rent.
Okay.
And I want to tell you about the movie Power Ballad.
Oh,
do you know about it?
No.
Okay. So when we are talking about what the robots are making and what stories and things the robots could make, this is a perfect example of a kind of film and a kind of story and the kind of writing that comes from deep within the heart, because it is about plagiarism.
Yes.
And how something was taken out of context, but it's actually rooted in something very personal. But it's this movie with Paul Rudd coming out.
Oh, I saw the trailer for this the other day.
Yes.
it's lovely.
I saw the trailer, and yes, one of the Jonas brothers steals his song.
Yes. So Nick
That's
Jonas,
what I got from the trailer.
Yeah. So Nick Jonas is
What a great elevator pitch. Nick Jonas steals a song from Paul Rudd.
Nick Jonas is literally playing himself.
Yeah.
He's playing a guy that was part of a boy band that's trying to make it on his own in LA. Paul Rudd plays a musician who's very talented. And I think what you will love the most about this, especially as a director, is how effectively this movie shows and doesn't tell. You know, that's the number one film school thing, which is how can you show your character their hopes and dreams without having them have to tell you.
Sure.
And it just does it so well. He's a wedding band singer,
Right.
Paul Rudd, and you quickly understand how he's American, but he's ended up rooting himself in Ireland. So this movie plays out like a small, beautiful little Irish film with small, beautiful Irish characters, his band members. And he has this chance encounter with Nick Jonas at this fancy wedding that they have to play, where they've got this famous friend. Nick Jonas is the famous friend. And they jam together at night. They spend this one night jamming, and he gives them this nugget. He gives him this song that he could never finish. And 6 months later, he hears it in the shopping mall, and it becomes Nick Jonas's biggest song, and it's the start of his solo career. But the movie isn't a silly comedy for him trying to get money. It's not about that. It's rooted in so much more.
Yeah.
And myself and Perrin watched it, and we were,
It's so lovely.
It's so lovely. It is so beautiful.
I saw the trailer for this.
And it's just interesting that we've spoken about where this media comes from, you know, these movies and these TV shows, and something that the robots will never have is that personal story. As you
Exactly.
said, that person holding up that thing going, this is where this comes from.
Yeah.
And
Is the trailer like a betrayal of the film?
it's hard.
I haven't
to-
seen the
yes,
trailer.
It is
No.
to some degree.
Because what you're describing sounds amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
And
trailer that I watched was not for the film that you are
Yeah.
describing.
the,
no.
trailer is trying to get you to understand the plot.
Yes.
And the plot feels a little bit of a situational comedy and a whole escapade.
Yeah, it's not that. It's not a silly, goofy.
There is so much more to this movie, and I just can't wait for people to find that out and tell their friends and have it spread. It plays like a Notting Hill.
Right.
Yeah, what I like about it is the whole idea of the movie is just, it's, like you said, it's not necessarily about, oh, I need the money because this. It's literally, I need acknowledgement for what I've done. Like, this is me, you know?
Yeah, there is
good.
this whole other layer which just
Yeah.
makes it even greater. But at the core of it is him going like, it's not about the money. I feel like I'm losing my mind here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But oh, it's beautiful.
It's the same. Did you ever watch Once or Sing Street?
So I
Same
was going to
director.
say is that I have
Yeah.
like a deep love for like the music movie, and
Yeah.
like Once is a gem. Once
Yeah.
is it's
Same
like this
filmmaker.
unique
Yeah.
little thing, and then you like big music and lyrics stan over here. Like
Yeah, yeah.
like I think it's it's really great.
Yeah, yeah.
Like film. I also, I mean, I know this is not like a stone cold take, but like Pop Goes Your Heart is one of the
banger. It's a fucking
greats.
banger.
It's one of the
Yeah,
greats.
yeah. No, and let me tell you, you're gonna walk out of Power Ballad with the song ingrained in your brain in a beautiful way. Like you will sing it for the rest of the day.
Yeah, we loved it. Like when we watched it, because I think we were the only two people in the cinema.
Well, it was an exhibitor screening,
right.
and unfortunately the other guys, I think it was a screening for Stir Chemical, but they weren't able to join that screening.
Yeah, and like we
So it was just myself and Perrin just gooing out, man.
straight afterwards, I was like, I fucking loved that. He's like, yeah, that was
No,
great.
yeah, no. Perrin turned to me, he goes, "It's a banger." And
Yeah,
I'm
it
like,
was a fucking
"That's so
banger."
lovely."
Yeah,
Very good.
When we first brought Perrin into our video store team, it was just before we all were in the same room watching challenges.
yeah.
And I sort of knew of Perrin because Perrin is good friends with Graeme and Cole. They went to AFTA together, right?
Yeah.
That's how they knew each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
But when Perrin scuttled across in the dark after challenges to get over to our seats and go, "How fucking great was that movie?" I was like, "This, I need to be not only just friends with Perrin,
Yeah.
but like I need him in my orbit because I just love the love for movies." It wasn't Guadagnino, you know, didn't do this right or did that right.
Okay,
It was
I've-
just how fucking great was that movie?
I'm going to ask a question about challenges.
Okay.
Do you think the last minute and a half of challenges should be there? I have this argument with people all the time.
The last minute and a half of being the actual
The climax that like there is a. Have you ever read the Terry Pratchett Discworld novel
No.
Moving Pictures.
No.
Okay, there is a segment in that novel because the Moving Pictures is all about like this fantasy version of the invention of movies. And there's a character in there called the librarian who's a big orangutan. And there is a sequence in where he's watching one of these films
Yeah.
and he violently disagrees with one section in it, and he goes up into the projection room and he literally tears out a section of like the film with his teeth.
Yeah.
And the joke is that like it's the first like editing, like, you know, savagery, like the critic editing film. Anyway, I want to go into challenges, and I want to literally when he
does the reveal with the ball.
when he does the reveal
so
with the
that's-
tennis ball, and he realizes that like he's communicating like,
That
oh,
I fucked your...
like
yeah.
I slept with Zendaya.
Yeah.
I want the film to end there. I want it to end right there.
Okay. You still
Oh,
want
so
to
you
keep
didn't
that.
want them leaping where...
I just like the whole sequence that then ends with
No.
it, and I do get it that like it's the culmination of their kind of like bizarre love triangle, and it's
Okay, as long as you wanted to still include the
I
tennis
want the end to be the tennis ball reveal.
It's a good ending.
and I want it to
That
slam
could-
shut. Credits.
So do you know what? The reason why I prefer it ending, you know, when she stands up and she's like,
yeah, well, he takes his power. and
yeah,
I get
but
it, yeah.
when she stands up and she just like goes, yeah, and like it ends, right? The whole movie, they keep on saying like most of the movie, they're essentially talking about tennis. And like even when they're talking about sex, they're talking about tennis. And she's like, we do is talk about tennis. And she's like, yeah, but isn't that everything? Isn't that always how we talk about things, right? So like for me, that ending culminates the whole film in what it's trying to do. But I actually do like that ending a lot.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
So it's my pet. It's my pet challenges thing.
yeah.
I want it to end with the tennis ball reveal. Anyway,
Something I'm watching, which I thought I'd share, is the TV show Legends on
Legends.
on Netflix. It's a little bit of a naff name, but it makes sense when you watch it.
yeah.
This is Steve Coogan. It's a limited series
How
set
have I
in
not heard of this?
set in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 80s. What is Thatcher era?
80s.
80s.
Yeah.
It's set in the 80s about Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher is wanting to sort of declare a war on heroin, and it's the start of heroin making its way into the UK, and it's based on the true story of the customs department, who within their custom organization, you know, they just check the airports and the ports and things like that. They're not secret agents, but how a group of them became secret agents to infiltrate the heroin ring to try and bring it down. I don't know whether they succeed to some degree yet because I haven't finished, but really gritty. It's really cool to sort of see that era, the 80s, late 80s.
It's my favorite.
And the term legend is your persona, which you have to create as a someone undercover, and it's how these guys are like kind of lived semi-boring lives as customs people at the airports and things, and how they're kind of getting a thrill for life because
Yeah,
they are
flip.
part of this. But it's cool to be in the 80s where there's like not much in the way of technology,
And
there's all landline phones.
you say Steve Coogan.
Steve Coogan is
Steve Coogan in the 80s. You sold.
Yeah, sold.
Yeah, and I just turned to, I think I mentioned it to Leslie, my wife, but also very much to myself. Anything that Steve Coogan is in is worth your time because
it's true.
he's one
Yeah.
of those people that like doesn't get out of bed for shit.
I mean, they literally made 6 films of him just sitting at tables talking to Rob Brydon. I mean, like
That
Bull
the
and
Michael
Cock story,
Caine,
yeah.
the Michael Caine thing.
yeah, the
is-
trip. I mean,
The
like
bulk guy.
that is literally. I love.
I've only ever heard the little cut of it. I've never seen the whole
you must.
thing it was a part of.
Oh, you must. You must.
Caine.
Because I mean,
talks
it is
Yeah, he's
literally
like-
the embodiment of somebody saying, like, "I would watch that guy reading the phone book," and then they literally just kind of did that.
What was the name of his character back of the net? Parsons. Is it
Alan Parsons.
Yeah.
Alan Partridge.
Partridge.
That's it. Yeah. No, Coogan's great, man.
So yeah, Legends on
Good.
Netflix. It's a smart, good limited series, and also kind of like about the world. You know, it's not play. It's like this is what happened. in the UK as heroin was making its way in.
Very good.
So yeah, recommend that. Something we could perhaps touch on is the fact that we got this Star Wars movie.
I was going to say a Star Wars movie came out. Let's get that SEO in there.
Yeah.
Do you know
Get
that
the SEO, get the tags.
I prepared a joke.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Is it Mandalorian and Grogu or Mandalorian and No-Gu? That was my joke.
Ah, there we
Thank
go.
you. Well done.
Well, it works
see myself out.
because Russ did not get. So we have a thing called GUI approved by Russ, and
Right.
it was not GUI approved. Eh?
No. And
see,
I never,
so your joke
I never
works.
expected it to be.
Yeah.
We went, myself and Gad went to the big fancy premiere in Rosebank, which is interesting to talk about because Rosebank was just one of those kind of run-of-the-mill big Sturkenical cinema complexes, the one upstairs at the Zone. And it now famously has got itself an IMAX.
Oh,
which
the
is,
laser one, yeah.
Nice theater.
Was it cool?
I,
Did it look
I
great?
didn't arrive in enough time to get into IMAX. I was bleak. I was in literally cinema number 2, which was still good.
Gross.
But
Ugh.
I missed the chance to see the IMAX. But hopefully I will soon. But it's the future of cinema. This is what we've spoken about, and I've brought it up over the years, especially in COVID when some kind of Daily Mavericks and Mail and Guardian folk wanted to interview me to go, what's the state of cinema because of, Sturkenical and COVID and all of this. I was like, the future is IMAX and the bioscope.
Yeah.
Like that was my
Amen.
that was my thing, and I was like, I believe that. I hope I'm on the right side of evolution. I believe to be. We had a lovely.
I agree with you, by the way.
We've been thriving in our quiet little 47-seater cinema. Yesterday we had like 3 sold out screenings. Cheap Detective, stand-up comedy.
Amazing.
I think
all
my
sorts.
favorite cinema experience over the last 5 months was, and I think I spoke to you about this, was the wine tasting screening you did of Sideways.
Yes.
Oh fuck! That
was
is
the best.
amazing.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
Did everyone say, "I will not drink fucking Merlot"?
To be honest, I don't know what crowd ended up coming, so perhaps you can explain.
I mean, it was a full house.
It was a full house.
It was a full house. It was
Amazing.
a mix of, like the kinds of people you would expect to come to drink wine and watch Sideways. Like just like a drunk old crowd who
Yeah.
had the best time.
Yeah,
Great
it was
movie.
lovely, and I love those kinds of ideas.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning, we are going to have at least 16 at this point moms with newborns coming to watch Devil Wears Prada 2.
Fantastic.
that.
It's called Mommies at the Movies because I watch what my wife is doing. She needs to get out the house after, her sort of initial raising of the baby.
Yeah.
She wants to meet other moms, and so she has started this and gone to all these classes. And like mid-morning, in an environment where no one's going to tell you to shush,
Sure.
bring your kid, and it's not for the kid; it is for the mom
Yeah.
or the parent. You know what I mean? But it's like it's for that person that wants to watch the new Devil Wears Prada, wants
Yeah.
to be around other parents, and what a treat! On a Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock, we're going to have a whole bunch of people come.
I love it.
And I love those ideas. That's what excites me. Is going like, mommy's at the movies. Let's do it.
I told Kira's mom about the knit in theater thing.
Yeah,
and she
knit
loves
in
that
cinema.
because she literally watches TV and just knits. So it's
Yeah,
like you have light on you, you can see, you can do.
And I've got a few friends that say I don't go to the cinema because I can't knit.
Yeah.
'cause it's too dark. And so the movies with the lights on so that you can knit. Like that's
Amazing.
what's exciting. And so it was interesting to see that Sturkenical is adding more IMAXs, which they should. And then I found it interesting that in the same complex,
I know what you're going to say.
2 of
Yeah.
the cinemas, sort of Cinema
weird.
9 and Cinema 10, have been turned into these like playrooms.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's like an axe throwing.
Yeah, it's so weird.
And there's like a recket room and
like
so
the laser tag
just,
and shit. It's so weird. Yeah.
but it just makes sense. They've got this big ass room
no.
that wasn't being filled.
I remember having a conversation around Hyde Park, and the fact that at the moment, like they're only at most deploying 6 of their 10 screens, I think, at any given point.
That's crazy.
Like, and not having enough film to essentially, like, you know, fill up what it is that they're doing, and instead of shuttering them, I was like, why are they not being used as viewing theaters for esports, for one?
That's true.
Where, you know, like big esports tournaments where, like, I'd like to watch people playing StarCraft on a massive giant screen. That would be amazing. And kind of doing things like that where it's like, why, if we don't have a film to show, why are we just closing its door rather than
smart.
kind of like thinking about
It's learning to adapt, right?
Well, what's interesting?
TM.
Yeah.
Come and pay me for that idea.
Did you just shout out trademark?
Yes.
Okay.
It wasn't an obscure
I was like, wait, what are we talking about?
reference. TM, and everyone's like, cool.
Well, next week we are screening The Amazing Digital Circus, which is a YouTube show that I know nothing about. And it is beloved around the world. I think it is made in sort of more Eastern Europe.
Oh, okay. I have no idea.
Glitch. I forget. People are going to hate me for this, but it's this kind of quite dark, like animated show. And they have created the season finale as this thing called The Last Act. And they've gone, we want to put it in cinemas. Tell your cinema to show it. And we got flooded with mails.
Amazing.
And I was like, great. From the first people, I was like, who do I mail? And we together found 1 or 2 mails. Nobody responded. Just a little bit like Iron Lung, which was this YouTuber made this great horror film and also said, I want to put it in cinemas. And we got so many mails for that. And everybody also was mailing me, and I was like, I'm mailing people. Like, no one's responding. Like, tell them, because they were like, we started petitions. I was like, tell them there's a cinema. just who do I fucking talk to? And there's a lovely distribution company called Gravel Road in South Africa, and we were having a good discussion about Iron Lung, and they were like, we should try and bring it, but they just missed the window. And then we didn't talk about Amazing Digital Circus until I got a mail from them going, we are bringing it. And I was like, fuck yes. Someone who's got the time and the clout and the structure to distribute, because we're not a distributor. We're an exhibitor here at the Bioscope, and that is enough work on its own.
Yeah, exactly.
And so this thing's coming, and it's selling out.
That's cool.
And it's this event cinema. And so what I thought as one little way in which Star Wars could have gone about the Mandalorian and Grogu is gone, we know it is a TV show.
Yeah.
You know it as a TV show. Part of the problem is now with Marvel and Star Wars, when they become a TV brand, to go, well, here's a movie, and then everyone goes,
let's just wait.
Why are we making a movie?
Yeah.
Is there something special about this movie that warrants a big screen? Or could this have just been episodes of The Mandalorian and Disney Plus?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the answer is with this product.
Yup.
And so, unless it's a bigger Skywalker saga, or unless it's this beautiful big standalone thing, and I think we're all holding out some hope for Starfighter, which is the Gosling Star Wars film. Which that's exciting because that's new. But I think they fall into this crevice, so did Marvel, where it's like, if I haven't watched The Mandalorian in its 2 seasons, do I need to watch that before? Apparently no, but nobody made that clear enough.
So I'm going this week.
So you can totally watch it without, but I don't know whether it's as enriched, but it's fine. It is a perfectly good movie. It's just not spellbinding. It's not amazing.
It's watchable, right?
And so what I think they could have done is they could have gone, hey, Star Wars fans, you very difficult, pretentious fucks
who hate everything.
That we do.
Yep.
Here is a special cinema event.
Yeah, that would have been smarter,
and it is limited.
Yeah.
Get in and get out.
Yeah.
That is probably the only way they could have done it.
The problem is that doesn't justify a $160 million budget.
Are you
They can't make the
fucking
money back.
joking? Is that how much it costs?
Well, I mean, the show costs
Jesus.
a season of that show will cost $300 million.
Let's be real here. I said it in the group because Gad was like, ugh, right? Because Gad's like,
He really held out hope for this film.
Yeah, Gad, Cole, and Graham are like the biggest Star Wars fans amongst us easily. But like I was saying, like it's fine. In 15 years' time, Star Wars fans who hate everything are going to be like, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah, they did it with the prequels. They'll do it with this as well.
And the prequels are dog shit.
Well,
No, they're bad movies.
So here's my question, because I'm Star Wars adjacent. I can
Yes.
take it, I can leave it.
Me too, yeah.
Like, and I don't know if I'm saying something controversial here. Like, I thought Rogue One was spectacular.
I love Rogue One.
Love Rogue One.
That was very special for many special reasons.
That's like top 3 Star Wars movies for me. Easy.
And then I thought the prequels ended on such a weirdly like patronizing, pandering note that it felt like the damage that they did to the cinema kind of aspect of what they were what Disney was trying to do with Star Wars was almost crippling, which is why like all those things kind of then just
do you mean the
quietly went away.
sequels, not the prequels?
Sorry, the sequels.
Yeah,
The
okay.
sequels. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then the pivot to TV felt like a masterstroke.
yeah.
and
Where it was like, oh, okay, we're finally getting new stories that don't feel the need to kind of pander to some sort of pre-existing mythos and like bring all these, like it finally felt liberated. And so bringing it back to like to reinforce your point feels kind of what are Andor and Mandalorian have been forging such like incredibly sort of interesting new directions in this sandbox.
And someone raised a great point, which is that The Mandalorian is perfect for TV.
Yeah, it's great
because
for
it's this
TV.
beautiful kind of Western-esque
show was great.
idea,
The show was amazing.
and every episode could be him fighting and finding another guy to kill.
Yeah.
I think the problem is the show stopped being that pretty quickly. When it started, I was
that's very
expecting it's
true.
going to be like a bounty of the week, sort of misadventure of the week sort of thing.
episodic, right? Yeah.
But then it became this whole like, oh, Luke Skywalker's involved. Now there's like a Mandalorian war. And
that's
it's just like,
that's
oh, too
my
much.
issue with
Too
Star
much.
Wars is that it anchors itself too much to Skywalker.
Yes.
Everything relies too heavily on it, and like that's why I'm excited to see Star Wars stuff where it doesn't involve them. That's why, I mean, sure, like we've got the shadow of the Empire and Darth Vader and stuff, and Andor and stuff like that. But what I think Andor's the biggest swing they ever took, and was the biggest hit as well, because that is a show where I can show to people who aren't into Star Wars and they'll still be into it because it's it's an espionage thriller.
Yeah, we've
It's
always spoken about this.
Skeleton Crew
fucking
was
good.
great.
Yeah.
It was so much fun, dude.
Yeah. I never watched that, but I know
It's a jam.
Gad
dude.
told me it's like he said that's what it felt like watching Star Wars as a kid.
Yeah.
Like he said it reinvigorated that like magic to him.
all the
You know what
characters
I
are
mean?
kids. I mean,
Yeah.
But I mean that's the thing though. People forget that Star Wars was initially
it's a
kind
movie
of-
about space wizards intended for
yeah,
children.
it's like it's aimed towards kids, right?
Yeah.
So like especially episode 6, which is fucking walking around teddy bears.
Yeah.
It's a movie that is made to make toys.
Exactly.
You know, and like Star Wars fans, we always joke that Star Wars fans, no one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans.
Sure.
And they always seem to forget, they're like, oh, humor in Star Wars.
Yes.
Like, bro, it's always been there.
Well, the thing they're all fawning over now is this new Darth Maul show.
Is it any good?
No.
Really?
It's fine, but it's so serious. It takes
You see,
itself so
that's the
seriously.
problem.
There's no fun. There's no whimsy. It's like, brooding, red lightsaber, swing, swing, swing.
Yeah.
But to just go back to Mandalorian and Grogu, you do have these cute little kind of puppety characters, most famous of which is the baby Yoda character, Grogu. But there are these other little guys that make an appearance, and it is cute, and it hits all the boxes, but it just doesn't feel like something uniquely special, and I think the move should have been to have given us, if we're going out to cinema, at least the first outing since this Skywalker. What is it? 3 trilogies. The nine
So
nuplet,
crazy.
whatever that is. There's a term for it.
Yeah.
What is a parent who has 9 kids? I don't think it ever exists. But we should have gotten something bold and exciting and new as the first cinema outing, and not because this could have come down the line.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's another Star Wars movie. And
It's also like pandering in a way that irritates me. Like there's characters from Rebels all over it. There's like a scene where he fights stop motion robots, which is in theory, that's a cool idea, but they're doing it because they know people go on their like social media are going to be going, ooh, practical effects.
So it's like fan service to the movie.
There's like a scene where they're not to be spoilery or whatever, but they're fighting in like an arena and they fight all the hollow chess.
The chess, yeah.
They fight the real versions of those. And
I did recognize them.
yes,
Yeah.
and
So
it's like,
I was-
come on.
I was going to ask a question
Please do.
because I thought that there's going to be some Mando chat.
Yeah.
Mando chat.
And I was like, and I haven't seen it yet. I tried to see it last night. Oh, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But I am interested with the relatively lukewarmish sort of like weekend that it has had, and it's being sort of the headlines that I've read were like, oh, it performed worse than Solo, and we all know that Solo is the most hated thing that's ever been like made in the history of ever, which I also think is kind of unfair. But anyway,
I don't think it deserves that.
I agree.
Yeah.
And so Jon Favreau has a career that I envy just about more than any other kind of contemporary directors.
Yes.
Like I think the sort of the freedom that he's been given, the sort of the space that he's been given to make the transitions that he's made. You know, one of the things that you are always kind of told very early on in any directing career is study the careers of directors whose careers you wish you could have. Study the moves that they've made, the types of films that they've been given the opportunity to do, so that because you will be, if you do have any kind of success, the films that you will be given or the opportunities that you will be given will directly relate to the stuff that you have made. So like, and if I think about like unbelievable variation in Favreau's career,
it's weird,
I go, he's almost a sort of like a unique little curate's egg of, you know, the guy made Chef and Maid and
I love there's a lovely meme which I shared on the video store's social media of like in the movie Chef, he is with Sofia
Sofia Vergara's
ex, and he's now with Scarlett Johansson in the movie, which is just a subtle nod to the fact that he wrote and directed. I just love that.
Sure. And it's like, but I mean, if you think about the kinds of films that he's been put in charge of, the franchises that he's been put in charge of, like it's bananas and wonderful. And it gives you a kind of, you know, as an aspiring filmmaker with a career.
Did he direct Swingers?
He did not.
Did he?
Well, he wrote it.
I think he wrote it.
He did more than just star
tell you
in it.
now.
Because the one that because he did direct the sequel Made.
Was this?
Okay.
There was that.
Shit!
Yeah, and I went and watched Made because I was like, it's
Vince
Vince
Vaughn
Vaughn
as well?
and it's
them.
it's the unofficial kind of, you know, sequel to Swingers.
Sorry,
But,
I googled Swingers and I got Swingers Heaven. Swingers.
But you'll
film.
love this. I remember many years ago with a girlfriend trying to remember that name of the movie Swingers. But I was like, it's like a whole bunch of people. It's Vince Vaughn, and then, you know, and we were describing it, and we were like, whatever. And the next morning, she rolled over. Nobody said hello. Nobody said good morning, love. She didn't even open her eyes. She just rolled over and went, Swingers. And I was like, that's it!
I remember this story.
That's it! Oh my God. It was just like 10 hours later. It's just like Swingers.
So he wrote it. He didn't direct it.
He
Doug
wrote it.
Lyman.
Yeah, it was directed by Doug Lyman. That's really
did,
surprising.
That's right, Doug Lyman. That was the thing that put Doug Lyman on the map.
Yeah.
Also, a bonkers career, Doug Lyman.
Yeah.
I love his career.
He did which he did one of the Bourne films.
He did the first one.
Bourne
Yeah.
film.
I think. Yeah,
And
so
Edge of
I
Tomorrow,
think-
which is fantastic.
I
Which
think
one?
your
Edge of Tomorrow.
Your heroes.
Shit. Yeah.
I think your hero's legacy will be fine because it's not a bad movie.
Yeah.
It's not like he did a bad job. The general criticism might just be like, why?
Yeah, it
Why?
doesn't need
Yeah.
to be a movie.
And why
That's
did
the
we
thing.
do this?
There's
Yeah.
even a point where it cuts to black and I went roll credits because it like ends one story and starts episode 2. It
Yeah.
literally feels
That's
like they
his
put 2
challenges.
episodes.
Yeah.
Right.
It feels like they glued 2 episodes of The Mandalorian together.
Oh, that's
I
a
will
problem.
say, ILM hasn't done anything that's impressed me in like 20 years. The visual effects in this movie are flawless.
Oh, really?
They're incredibly good.
Okay.
Like it's something we really take for granted these days is like good visual effects, but they are
That's true. Hey.
excellent.
'Cause I mean,
Okay.
the
They are
only
so good.
the like visual effects have really impressed me over the years. I think it's the Planet of the Apes movies. Those are
That
the
was
ones.
Weta.
Yeah, but
That wasn't I'm saying like ILM in particular.
in particular, okay.
Industrial Light and Magic hasn't really done anything that impressed me since Pirates of the Caribbean
Oh shit!
with
Yeah.
Davy Jones. Since then, it's like a lot of their recent stuff just doesn't look as good
What
as
else
what
have they
other.
done?
Well, that's the thing. It's like there's so many like other companies that are doing more impressive work
Yeah,
these
okay,
days.
fair
So
Frame Store and Weta and
Mm.
I've always like it's so funny that you mentioned Davy Jones and you mentioned Pirates of the Caribbean because that was always like, oh, you watch that film and still watch it now. It is still flawless.
Yeah, it looks
to this-
great.
it's perfect.
And
Yeah.
you kind of go like, why have we had bad VFX after that when
cheaper and faster.
Cheaper and faster,
100%,
exactly.
yeah.
and
Early
whenever I
like
speak
Transformers movies,
Yeah,
when
they
those
look
things are
crazy.
transforming, and
Yeah.
you're like, "Holy fuck, it looks amazing!"
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
people tend to think CGI looks bad because they notice bad CGI. They don't notice it when it's flawless,
When it's
which
flawless.
Yeah,
90% of the time you don't know it's there because it's literally perfect.
It's not as an invisible art form as like editing or
Yeah.
sound, but like I agree with you.
Yes.
Like when I mean the fucking the most recent Planet of the Apes trilogy, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like there were moments where I actually thought those were fucking apes
Yes.
acting. like especially War. Like I was like,
Yeah.
holy smokes.
Just cut to him doing the director's commentary,
It's so, yeah, the orangutan narrate.
or he's just like doing a little,
a
doing
tough
a
day
little,
on set, guys.
doing a little press kit.
Whenever
He's
there's
just
a
chowing a banana.
whenever there's a behind the scenes thing and they're going, we did everything practical. There's no visual effects
Yeah.
in this movie. You know that there's a ton of visual effects in that
Yeah,
movie.
100%,
It's
yeah.
always a lie. Like they edit behind the scenes stuff these days. They key out green
crazy.
screens and stuff so that
Yeah.
people can't see them in behind the scenes footage. And like Top Gun Maverick, they're constantly talking about it's all real, it's all real.
Yeah.
There are more visual effect shots in Top Gun Maverick than there are in Black Panther.
Jesus. Same as Dead Reckoning, the final Reckoning. Yeah.
It's like a good Botox.
yeah, 100%.
It's like a well done Botox.
Yeah, no, it's fucking. But yeah,
I don't know. She just looks great.
Yeah.
she just looks so good. All right, listen. We could clearly talk about this
all day,
forever,
Yeah.
and we were on the cusp of a giant Star Wars wormhole, which
Sure.
we just teetered around.
Yeah.
But you give Graeme enough time, and he can do an easy 8 hours, which he's done, by the way.
So
very good.
impressive.
So
Very good.
Last week,
You should submit
2 weeks
that-
ago.
Yeah,
was
Submit
our-
it for the Pulitzer or something, you know,
Yeah,
the Peabody Award.
They did an episode per trilogy
Right.
for our May the 4th
Oh, very good.
week, which was a delight.
Very good.
And it was really cool being at the Star Wars party.
Right.
Seeing all those
And
fucking nerds over there.
and no, but I made a point of saying hi to the head of marketing and for Disney in South Africa. And the last time I introduced myself, I told him about the podcast. So it was nice hearing him go, "Yeah, I'm working my way through the Star Wars episodes." And I was like, "Great,
Nice.
lovely.
So
That's what we wanted."
good.
The general idea is like, I'm working my way through them because
Yeah.
they'll always be
Yeah.
there, but there's a lot to kind of digest.
They're evergreen. They don't have a
Yeah,
expiration
and
date.
the plot armor guys also gave a shout out and were like,
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
No, and they really like helped me, see
Yeah.
those trilogies in the right way. I was like, oh, I'm glad.
That's very cool.
It was nice seeing
Yeah.
them as well. So yeah, listen, Jono, good luck with this TV show.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Fuck yeah.
Take that cricket bat and hit it out the park, as they say.
Listen, some of the crew have been asking me where my
Six
cricket
and out,
bat is.
6 and out, baby. Remember that.
I do. I do.
There's a general
Garden cricket. Yeah.
there's
If you broke a window, you were
Yeah.
very out.
yeah.
very out. But don't you love the fact that 6 and out existed, which was like you would hit this incredible shot, which would go into the fucking neighbor's garden.
What
you
bullshit.
you had the glory of 6, but you had to get the fuck out.
It was inevitably the punishment for losing the ball.
Yeah. 100%. Literally. Yeah.
Cool.
But I mean, what a way to go.
Right.
Okay,
I was never that guy.
But I think there should somehow be a career retrospective at the end of your life. called Six and Out. And it's just-
Except my retrospective will probably be called Diddled Around at the Crease, prodded a couple of singles, and then was forced to go home.
Well, you're a bowler. Spinner, fast bowler.
Leg break bowler.
Okay, cool.
Leg break bowler.
Yeah, this is a quick story to bring it full circle. I used to play in a cricket league called Last Man Stands, which is still active to this day.
Lovely. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, and I was always a medium pace bowler.
What was the name of your team?
We were. Oh my lord!
I was in the Royal Super Challengers Punjab.
Very good.
Are you being
Very
serious?
Yeah. No, Last Man Stands was delightful because it's a format that was perfectly built for people like ourselves who loved cricket, who didn't want to go and join like a formal cricket club.
Oh, cool.
But it was you and your mates. You could register yourself.
Yeah.
And it was all kind of online in the sense, the management, where it was like, just get to this field at 7 o'clock and you'll play this guy.
I want to guess were you a spinner?
No, I was like medium paced.
Oh, really? Okay.
I tried to be a little bit faster, but it ended up being medium paced.
Well, so that was me.
But remember, I'm left-handed.
I know
eh?
you just
Remember, I'm left-handed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was my little secret weapon. Was just the optical, the vision of me coming
from the wrong side.
Coming from the
But
wrong
also,
side.
so you come in like a fast bowler, right? So they're just going to think like his slow balls are so like deceitful.
Well disguised.
No, I had a little movement.
Okay.
I could, by the way I held the ball in the crease, I could.
You hit it. Did
I
you do a
could-
knuckleball?
No,
Yeah.
but just by how it was being released, it could move a little once it bounced.
Awesome.
So I was the same. I was
Okay.
a trundling medium pacer
Trundling.
who fancied himself like an angry fast bowler. And one morning into my first over, I pulled my glute, which means that I busted my ass, literally. And there were no other bowlers. And so the captain basically said, listen, you need to finish your overs. Can you bowl anything that doesn't involve you having to run?
You just chugged
And
the
so,
ball.
No, so I basically said, listen, I can muster some like mediocre leg spin bowling. And he was like, cool, do that. I took 4 wickets and
Holy shit.
literally a career as a leg spin bowler was born that morning. I was more successful as a leg spin bowler than I've ever been as a medium pace bowler my entire life
But
up until that
just
point.
remember how
love that.
overweight Shane Warne was.
He was huge.
we grew up. I'm in my 40s. We grew up in an era of like rather fat cricketers.
Oh, David Boone. I mean,
They now all look exactly the same. Every
Yeah.
cricketer in silhouette
No,
looks
that's not
exactly
true.
the
I'm
same.
going to say an uncharitable thing in that my cricket WhatsApp group, we occasionally do draw up what we call an international fat 11.
There's that one West Indian player
No,
who's
I'm talking
massive.
professionally.
No. We're talking about from the ranks of professional cricketers.
Yeah, there are a few. Yeah.
Oh no! Cricket is a sport that celebrates all body shapes.
Yeah.
We, there is space for everyone.
Yeah.
Including the rather magnificently named young South African opening batting prodigy Luhandre Pretorius.
I was about to say he's a bit doughy.
Yeah, man.
he's a doughy boy.
and yet he's an absolute
Come
stone
on.
cold fucking legend.
No, yeah, come on the podcast.
Should we just create a cricket podcast?
We should. Have we just become best friends? Yeah,
Listen.
Do you want to go play drums in the garage? What is it?
yeah. I can't
Play
remember.
swords?
Yeah.
Do you want to go sword fight?
Yeah, just don't put your nutsack on my drum kit. You know.
Did we just become best friends? I love that. On that beautiful note, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jono.
This was
What a
joy.
treat.
Yeah.
No, an absolute joy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we'll see you soon.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Lovely.
All
All
right,
right.
cricket
Thank you, guys.
podcast.
The home base is thevideostore.co.za. Chime in below in comments and wherever. Please let us know what you think and send us all your returns and comments and hey, did you guys see? We love hearing them. All right. Magic. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Boy.
Bye bye.